What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Spectre here, coming back to you right from the Nintendo Direct, and oh boy, I think Game Freak did it. I think Game Freak did it, but let's do a little coverage video as to what is probably the most important part of this Direct as a whole, and that is the new Pokemon. Of course, we're looking at the game covers here. We'll get into these Pokemon in a little sec. But what I wanted to do was actually review what Pokemon are coming out, the brand new Pokemon. Turns out we actually got 7 brand new Pokemon in this Direct, and that's way more than I ever thought we would get. I was thinking, and I think most people were thinking maybe, you know, the couple introductory route Pokemon, but we got more than that. But let's start off with the introductory route Pokemon. First, we've got Gossifleur. Now this thing, it looks pretty cool, especially for a first stage Pokemon. I think this design is really, really cool, and I've actually found a site where it has all the information about the new Pokemon, including their typings and abilities, so let's get into this. So, of course, Gossifleur is going to be a pure grass type, and it has an ability called Cotton Down. Now, I think that's a brand new ability, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we don't have any idea what that does. Sounds interesting, but we'll have to wait for that, of course. And it has the Regenerator ability, alternatively, which restores 33% of a Pokemon's HP when they actually switch out and then come back to battle, which is really, really cool. So we're thinking this might be a kind of defensive kind of Pokemon, and its description actually contributes to this, as well as this right here. You can see it's level 14 with 41 HP. By the way, this model looks absolutely beautiful. So it says its pollen has a healing effect. Gossifleur prefers lands with clean water and air, and its pollen has a healing effect. Its pollen works on people too, and it used to be a common folk medicine remedy for the children of the Galar region to be given a tea made from this pollen when they fell ill. So it's quite obviously a healing type of Pokemon, and I think it's going to be very, very defensive. Over here it says it moves with the winds, so it basically travels with the winds. And yeah, so also it has a second stage that we were introduced to. I think personally, this Pokemon is going to have a 3-stage evolutionary line. They kind of hinted at that a little bit. But yeah, let's check out this evolution called Eldegoss. Now this thing looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of Jumpluff with the kind of dandelion theme going on. I like the design, but I think it's going to kind of really sprout out in its 3rd evolution. We'll see what happens though. This one's also pure grass, and it has the Cotton Down and Regenerator ability as well. And basically it talks about how its cotton fluff protects it from its enemies and provide kind of a cushion that, you know, protects its head and whatnot. And its HP is at 58 at level 20, which is really, really high. That's pretty high HP, especially for a 2nd stage Pokemon, which I'm thinking it will be. It also has highly nutritious seeds, so these little seeds in its dandelion cotton fluff are apparently very nutritious. So yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be very much a support kind of defensive healing Pokemon for teams, but we'll see. Overall, I like it. I'm hoping that it does have a 3rd generation because it looks like it just kind of, you know, shells up, and then I'm hoping it's going to kind of sprout out after that. So the next new Pokemon that we found was actually Wooloo, and you guys know I love sheep Pokemon. Obviously with Flaffy and Mareep and Ampharos, those are some of my favorite Pokemon of all time. And this thing, it's cute. I want to see it evolve, definitely. And it, of course, is just a normal type, actually. Completely normal. And its ability is Fluffy. Fluffy, I believe, is an ability that halves the damage from physical moves. But if you have a fire-type move, it doubles that damage against Wooloo, of course. So, interesting ability. Could be pretty good, so long as the opponent doesn't have a fire-type. And then Runaway, which just allows you to run away from, you know, wild Pokemon and whatnot. So it says it has an extremely fluffy body. I'm loving this model. Honestly, the Sword and Shield games look so good. I think they updated the graphics even more from last time. But yeah, so it will fully grow back its fur in 3 months, even if the Wooloo has been completely shorn. The fur is used for clothing and carpets, so I like how they're kind of really incorporating the Pokemon into the lore of the region itself. That, to me, is a really, really good sign for what's going to happen. Wooloo live as a herd and mimic the actions of their trainer or herd leader. Very, very, very cool little touch. I like how they're kind of incorporating, you know, animal psychology into this. They dislike conflict, and if they need to escape from enemies, they will simply roll away. I'm hoping we get to see that. I am really hoping we get to see that at some point. So, overall, a cool Pokemon. It's a normal type. I'm wondering if this is kind of like, you know, the Bidoof or the Rattata, kind of that beginning mammal Pokemon. A sheep is not what I expected, but hey, I mean, It's pretty cool, and it's very different from that kind of standard rat kind of mouse kind of, or like beaver kind of Pokemon. So very, very cool. And then we get into, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I actually screamed when I saw the next two new Pokemon. I legit screamed. So this is Corviknight, and it looks so good. Oh my god, I think this Pokemon was designed by the same guy who designed Poipole, Naganadel, Vanillux, a whole bunch of weird-looking Pokemon. But this one looks really, really cool. I like some of this guy's designs a lot. Some of them are, you know, okay, but he takes a unique take on everything he makes, that's for sure. So, Corviknight is actually going to be Flying and Steel type, which... Skarmory, anyone? This thing has echoes of Skarmory. It looks like an absolute beast. Initially when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is going to be a kind of Honchkrow kind of thing, a dark and flying Pokemon, but it's flying in steel. And apparently this thing is 7'3", and if you look in the actual trailer, it looks huge. And it's going to be, so flying in steel, and then its ability is pressure, which of course kind of doubles the PP usage of the opposing Pokemon, and then unnerve, which makes them unable to eat berries. So what usually happens with really, really overpowered Pokemon, like legendaries and all that, or not necessarily overpowered, but just really powerful Pokemon, is they give it pressure. So pressure, I think, is a good sign to see how good this Raven Pokemon is going to actually be. And it's got some interesting numbers here. Level 60 with 200 HP, and presumably not like EV drained or anything, right? So that's amazing. So it says the dashing lower to the skies, and I found this little description here to be really interesting. It said that Corviknight is the strongest Pokemon living in the skies of the Galar region. Like, hello? This is going to be the strongest Pokemon that flies at all in Galar? That's pretty amazing. It can also, and we got it revealed so early too. It can often be seen fearlessly soaring through the air. Many say that any Pokemon foolish enough to challenge Corviknight are sent running with just a sharp glare and a cry from this fearsome Pokemon. So they're really building this thing up to be super, super powerful. I'm kind of scared. And it says use a flying taxi to travel from town to town. So apparently Corviknight is actually going to, be the method through which we fly through the Galar region, I think. And that means that could indicate to us that, HMs are not a thing. Corviknight possesses superb flying skills and high intelligence. Because of this, many of them work for the company called Galar Taxi, helping transport people from town to town. I don't know if I'd be so comfortable using that company, to be honest. This thing scares the hell out of me, but I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, guys, and let's get into the last regular Pokemon. Then we got two legendaries. So we got Drednaw, who appears to be this kind of turtle-looking Pokemon. It looks really, really cool. Another Pokemon that I screamed when I saw, not gonna lie. It's known as the Bite Pokemon, and it is water and rock, which I think is a very, very interesting type combination. It kind of reminds me of Caracosta, the water rock turtle, except I really like this thing's design as well. And it's going to have the Strong Jaw ability, which I believe increases any type of bite attacks, like Crunch, or maybe Ice Fang or anything like that, by 33%. Or it has Shell Armor, which I believe protects it from critical hits. So pretty good abilities overall, especially Strong Jaw. I could see this thing being an absolute tank. So yeah, powerful jaws and muscles. Its 3D sprite looks incredible. The sharp, jagged fangs of the Bite Pokemon Drednaw are strong and sharp enough to bite through rock and iron. Though it has an extremely heavy rock shell, its wide-developed muscles allow it to move quickly. So I was initially thinking this thing was going to be just kind of a tanky Pokemon, high attack, low speed, high defenses kind of thing. But it says its well-developed muscles allow it to move quickly. So this thing just might be... I can't imagine a single stat of its that would be really low, except maybe its special attack. So that means it could be a really good Pokemon. We'll see. But putting a trainer's skills and morals to the test, Drednaw is known to be extremely vicious, and it takes a skilled trainer to tame and handle this Pokemon. Very, very interesting. It seems that some trainers will release Drednaw back into the wild once they discover they cannot handle it. So, honestly, Corviknight and Drednaw seem to be really beastly Pokemon. I'm wondering if they'll be available relatively early on, or if Corviknight is just going to be kind of exclusive to the flying feature before then. I have no idea. I have honestly no idea, but then we've got the legendaries, guys. I was surprised when they actually revealed this at the end. I thought we were just going to get that trailer that they showed at the beginning. But the legendary Pokemon, Zacian, I believe it's pronounced, and Zamazenta. Now, I think they look really, really cool. This is exactly kind of what I was expecting from the Sword and Shield games, because they did have that kind of wolf head at the top of the Sword and Shield logos. So, yeah, but to actually, this one's holding a sword in its mouth. I don't know how I feel about that. It looks cool. The functionality, I kind of question. But it says its shining blade can cut through anything, and then this one, of course, has a shield-based look to it, and I think it looks pretty cool. Its gleaming shield can turn back any attack. So Zacian attacks so gracefully that its movements can even captivate its opponents. It appears holds what appears to be a sword in its mouth, of course. And then Zamazenta's regal and majestic movements overwhelm any opponents that dare face it. Its body is covered in what seems to be a shield, and I think that's pretty obvious. These things look wicked, wicked cool. The designs, I mean, it is kind of the same. I'm surprised that they're two different Pokemon entirely. They do look pretty similar. I was hoping that they'd actually have, you know, kind of a different coloring. They do have a slightly different coloring, but it's the same colors, kind of schemes and themes, which is really interesting. But yeah, in the actual trailer, guys, I don't know if you saw this, but when they're kind of battling towards the end, they both look up. And I don't know, they get ready for attack or defense, obviously. And they're both looking up at something that seems to be coming from the air. There's this kind of aerial thing, so I'm wondering if that'll be like a third legendary. Maybe that will be the kind of, you know, Giratina or Rayquaza kind of thing. Or, yeah, like that third kind of legendary thing. I don't know what's going on. Very excited about this double pack with both of them featured, though. But yeah, guys, those are the new Pokemon. We got 7 new Pokemon revealed, way more than I thought was going to happen. And looks like we've got a pretty solid start to the region here. I'm looking forward to using Gossifleur and possibly Wooloo, and even maybe these two at the beginning of the game. That would be, that might be a little bit overpowered, but hey, they're looking really, really cool. 7 new Pokemon, so I think we've gotten, I guess that's 10 new Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield so far, if you include the starters, which is a pretty good start. That is a really good start, given that we're still, you know, 4 or 5 months out from release. Yeah, I think 5 months out from release. 10 Pokemon is a really, really good start, and I'm loving the designs. As I said, I literally screamed when I saw these two. I'm looking forward to seeing the evolutions of both the starters, and hopefully Eldegoss and Wooloo as well. These two I don't think will evolve. Maybe Drednaw. I know Corviknight, I'm like 99% sure Corviknight will not evolve. It's already too terrifying. Drednaw, possibly. We didn't see much of its stats. I guess its HP was, what, 169 at level 55. Also pretty high. So I wonder if it's going to be one of those standalone kind of Pokemon. It very well might be. But hey, it's a really, really cool looking Pokemon. I'm loving the designs. The art director seems to have done a really, really good job with these. And yeah, guys, I'm excited. This is looking really, really good. But stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more videos releasing throughout the day about all the new features of the new Sword and Shield games and what we saw in the Direct. Of course, we're going to be talking about the overworld Pokemon, the new characters, all that kind of stuff. So if you enjoyed this video and you're looking forward to more, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and comment down below as to which Pokemon is your favorite. Right now, I'm going to have to say I'm going with Drednaw for my absolute favorite, but Corviknight is looking really cool as well. And the legendaries aren't bad. They are not bad in my opinion, and I'm just looking forward to seeing these two things evolve, really. I really, really am. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in another Pokemon Sword and Shield coverage video.